All right, episode 5. Here we are, 2 down, 1 over podcast. I'm Josh Mason. This is Matt Flanagan, and we have a very special guest today on our show. This person has 50 years of coaching, super successful, 17 undefeated season, 10 state championships. She has a field named after her. She's considered a pioneer for the sport of field hockey, and I think I coined her the godmother of field hockey. She served the chair and National Field Hockey Coaches Association as the high school All-American Selection Committee. She's been inducted into the Luzerne County Hall of Fame, inducted in the National Field Hockey Coaches Hall of Fame, and she was the USA Coach of the Year in 2009. We have an awesome guest, Coach Karen Klassner. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well. I want to thank you for coming on to the show. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you.
So, most recently, you announced your retirement, right? So, what did that decision, how did you come to that decision?
I'm going to be 74 years old in February, so I was just getting too old to be on the sideline. I spent my last 10 years sitting on a cooler because I have such a bad back. So I felt it was time to, just be able to enjoy myself and do things I wanted to do and not live by a schedule.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Coach, over the years, you've had massive success, and we've actually had the privilege of working with a lot of the girls that you've coached, and they've said wonderful things about you. And we know it's more than X's and O's. It's more than setting up plays. And if we just kind of wanted to ask you, what are some of the insights to developing the culture that you developed? What are some of the principles that you taught over the years?
I think that the kids have to learn to trust you, and they have to know that you have their best interests in mind. A lot of times, even though we were successful, I believe, because of the kids, and we had very talented individuals over the years. And then I surrounded myself with a really good coaching staff, which is key. And most people have to buy into what you're trying to do. And I think the kids really felt, because I started taking a lot of teams to the national festival every year, so the kids got recognition. I wasn't as worried about my own players as I was players from others. So that was really how I started. And I think the kids believed in the process. And then the biggest thing is just showing them that you care about what happens to them.
Yeah, I like that. We have that kind of concept in our gym. It's just, I tell the coaches and our staff, it's just show that you care, right? It's that simple. Show that you care about your athletes. Now, we deal with a ton of athletes, and, mostly you deal with a lot of female athletes. What do you think, through your experience, like, what is the separator between like that good and great athlete?
Attitude, what they're willing to do to be better. And we've been fortunate over the years, our coaching staff, that our kids were willing to get better. And really they have to know the difference between, I talk about winning versus losing, because you're going to lose some games to get where you want to be. We loaded our schedule every year. We did not play. The undefeated part of it wasn't really to us as a staff. We loaded our schedules and played some of the best teams in the country, and especially this past year. And I know a number of people commented to me when they saw our schedule that it would be very tough on our kids. Well, we asked the players what they wanted. They wanted a tough school. They wanted to see if they could hang with other state champions. So we had a number of state champions. I think we had 8 state champions on our schedules this year.
Wow. The next question is really about this area, and this area has a lot of attention and sends a lot of girls to high level programs. And what makes this area such a good field hockey area? And I mean, you're known for, like, you know, as a pioneer of the sport, and like what kind of impact you've had. Now, why is it this area is so big in field hockey? Why are we so good?
We went out and sold ourselves, basically. We, you know, I was president of State Coaches Association and got involved with some pretty people, and to protect the sport, I put myself out there, as did some other coaches in this area. Gene Lipsky being one, Linda Fithian at Valley West being another. And Elvetta Gemsky kind of in the background, because she did not like being in the forefront of anything. So basically, we pushed it, and we knew we had really good kids. And our kids then made a lot of national teams. You had Diane Maddle, one of the first people out there, and she's, you know, she that Division I team. You have Kelsey Kay, Kat Sharkey, Lauren Powley. They all played actually national championship teams, and you know, a number of them went on to play in the Olympics. So, you know, we were lucky that we were able to get the notice of different areas, but a number of coaches with that. I was willing to travel and do things. So I think our kids started to gain a lot of recognition when they started to travel.
Right. Now you see how the game is changing. We see it with all sports. The whole travel and club teams are coming up, and it's more vibrant than anything. What are your thoughts on that?
Real mixed.
Yeah.
And, you know, being a former AD, I really like the combination of both. However, I'm also a big proponent of high school coaches need to keep up with the game, and be coaching for the right reasons, because they enjoy the kids. They want the kids to succeed. And basically, I never really worried about money. I could care less about that. So I was more interested in the kids just getting better and doing well. And, you know, I think your top coaches in the area really had that attitude. But we were able to go out, and, you know, Lackawanna Trail won a state championship. You had Crestwood win state championships. You had Lake Lehman, you had us, you had Valley West. Probably one of the better success stories really right now is Hones. I just love their coach. She's full of energy. She's out there doing what she needs to do. And the last 2 years, they've been really coming on now. Of course, they have to face Emmaus this week, you know, with the winningest coach in the country. Right. But they're going to learn from those experiences.
Now, like we said it a million times, you've had massive success, and you've helped so many people. And as a coach, I mean, you've coached for 50 years, you've had to have some adversity. And Josh and I talk about this a lot, like how do we handle adversity? And I was wondering if you could shine some light on that. Like what kind of adversities have you faced, and how'd you handle that as a coach?
I think, well, I've learned through experience. I think, you know, you really have no choice but to handle the adversity if you want to continue on the right track. You can take the, you know, what was me attitude, or you can say, you know, we just have to get past this. And, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. We've had kids get injured. We've had kids, you know, out for seasons. I think of Maddie Olszewski and some of the kids that tore their ACLs and how they came on. I mean, I learned a lot with her coming to practice every day, and us just sitting behind the cage talking while we were doing drills and things. So I think the important thing is to keep learning and get yourself out there. Also, I'm not afraid to take suggestions from my players. We have a different attitude even within our coaching staff. I trust the kids that you can tell that know what they're doing, will take their advice in the huddle if they see something. And that's what I want athletes. I want them to be able to fend for themselves, yet have the team atmosphere where they're willing to help their teammates out and will do anything to help their teammates as well. So I've coached individual players and I've coached a number of team players.
Nice. So, Coach, Northeast is known as the Mecca of field hockey, we say, and obviously, you're starting to see that younger generation start to take these coaching roles and are revitalizing these programs, and you're noticing it, especially locally. What, in your mind, where is the game headed, or where would you like it to end up?
Hopefully it'll be a healthy mix. I worry about the teams, your club teams kind of taking over because of high school coaches not keeping up. And I think that's one of the things. Also, as you guys know, conditioning is huge. What the kids do. And for me, I didn't interfere in what the kids did out. Their free time is their free time. I like working out. Some coaches don't like that. And they want total control. I don't want total control of any athlete. That's not really my job. They've got parents, they've got relatives, they've got other coaches they're playing under. My job is to point them in the right direction and then to help them attain their goals. That's my job as a coach. Along the way, I've gained notoriety because of the players that I've helped over the years, and which has been great. I still keep in touch. I mean, I talk to Kelsey Kay almost since she's been at Bucknell. We talk more frequently. I'm actually going out to dinner Friday night with kid Jess Swoboda, who played for me and then went to Villanova. And the Kolajaychuk. So I still keep up with the families, which, it's kind of it really is a family atmosphere for us. I've got a kid speaking out at a conference now in Wisconsin, Jess Swoboda. She's down at Virginia now in graduate school. So, I keep up with the kids. I've got nurses, doctors. There's a lot of players out there that are very successful now. And I keep talking to play, and they always us notes and they want to know how we're doing. And after we lost the Wyoming area, I got some texts at night. Well, how are you doing? You're not used to this type of situation. Right. and I laughed. I said, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So, it's part of the game. You win and you lose. And that's a big part of the game. And you have to be able to accept both.
Love it. Love it.
Now, earlier in the interview, you said that you take suggestions. You said it's important to keep learning. And Josh and I just did a podcast on daily habits and things because we're big believers in self-growth, and we need that. We got to be the best versions of ourselves if we want people to be the best versions of themselves. So is there any daily habits that you've done over the years as a coach or anything like that you've done to try to become the best version of yourself?
As my health classes, I'm probably not the healthiest eater and a person that has a good diet and that type of thing. But I think you have to put yourself out there, and eat every day, and you've got to keep active, whatever that activity is. It could be something as simple as doing crossword puzzles. I mean, it's just keeping your brain active, and I just bought a house here. I have actually 3 golden retrievers, so they keep me busy. And so it's I plan on traveling and going to see a lot of games, just not living by a schedule is what my next goal is for. That'll last probably about 2 months, and then I'll say maybe I better
That itch.
do some salting or whatever.
It's true. So Matt and I, we love reading books. We love, like he said, self-development. What are some key books or movies or things that impacted your life and changed your course?
Probably the Piccolo movie, the football movie. Miracle on Ice is one. I tend to look at different. I like podcasts and things. You can learn from a lot of different people that way. It's just that I don't find the time necessarily to do that. I seem to be on the run a lot. Keep busy. I'm working in admissions now as a liaison. So I've been meeting a lot of people. I'll be doing some traveling for the school. So I think the biggest thing is to keep yourself active. And people are saying that bought a house in Larksville. I actually bought Davis and Debbie Mattis's house in Larksville. And I've had my neighbors already say, "Are you the field hockey coach from Wyoming Seminary?" I said, "I don't know if I should answer yes or no to that. So why are you asking?"
Yeah, right.
So, but no, it'll be a new experience for me, but it's just a chapter in my life.
That's it.
So we talk about mentors a lot, and obviously you're a mentor to a lot of people. And now you're getting out of the game. You've just retired. And I'm wondering what sort of advice would you give to new coaches coming in and people that a lot of people look up to you? What are you telling them as they get started on this coaching journey?
I think the biggest thing is pay attention to what's going on around you and for the area you're in, because every area is different. I just the other night I was talking to Palmyra's coach, Kent Harshman, and he and I are good friends over the years, and I'm going to go down and watch them play on Saturday. So I think the big thing is don't get too cocky. You just need to take life as it comes, but you're also have young people's lives in your hands, and you have to keep yourself above the fray, so to speak, and not get involved in a lot of things that can get you in trouble. I am kind of a social media person. I use it a lot. I think social media can make you or break you. You have to be very careful. What you do on social media, what you say. So I've had a lot of people say that I'm very positive in my posts. I just talk about, things that we're doing to keep the kids hyped up. And, I think you just need to keep it positive and remember that you're going to influence your players' lives, because a lot of them may not have the situation at home that's a great situation for them. So I have an open door policy with my team, and they know it. So they're always stopping in here to see me in the office. And I travel a lot to see my kids play. Not every coach does that, but I'm able to do it. So I think it's important that you keep up with your kids and their personal lives a little bit, to know when they're having a bad day, to maybe talk to them, say, geez, your body language is telling me you're not having a great day. It could be something as simple as they haven't done well on a test. So I think you just have to, as a coach, keep on top of what your players are doing.
Right. That's great advice. So moving, you spoke about having that open door policy and being that mentor to the youth. What kind of, we always say it, like my life purpose. Like, when did I figure out my life purpose? And it was in my 20s. And my life purpose was to have a positive impact in as many lives as I can. And that's kind of under everything else. So for you, as a purpose, what do you feel is your life purpose?
Um, I think to help people as much as I can, to reach the goals that they're trying to attain. But I also have realized over the years that I have to separate myself at times and think about myself. Um, like the last few, I have one of my dogs right now is very ill and had an accident, running in the yard, and she was very vibrant, and now all of a sudden she can't walk. I think she might have had a stroke. So that's kind of brought me back to reality a little bit, and what can happen quickly. So, you focus about what your future is going to be. You let go of your past. I think you've got to live in the now and the future. But I still remember the people that got me where I want to be, and that's something that's important to me. So, I just try to put myself out there. I made that decision a long time ago, and I'm able to do it because I don't have kids. Even though I have probably been a developmental person in a
Right.
lot of kids' lives, I just think it's important that you go the extra mile for your players.
Yeah. So I have a question actually about yesterday, and I kind of just thought about this. And so yesterday I was kind of able to sneak into that signing day, and I don't even know if you knew who I was yesterday, but I saw you. I was kind of starstruck. Yeah. And you have four unbelievable girls going to big time programs. You got Pisano, you got Barbaci, Wachilla, and Olszewski, all doing great things and moving on in the sport. And like for me, that was so cool to be there. And I just wondered, like, what are your emotions from yesterday? What was going through your head yesterday, being a part of that and just retiring?
I kind of jumped back a little bit. Our most successful players were the four that you saw yesterday, and then another core group that was Kelsey Kay, Galardi, Laura Zahosky, a number of individuals that played, and they also had a streak of winning a number of state championships. So I was kind of drifting back a little bit into their careers and where they are now. And these four are really, I think they're going to be very successful players, and they're going to contribute to the teams they're going to right away. I think, each is going to a different program. I think Ella's going to, she's going to a program that she's going to have to fight every day to get on the field. You've got Maddie, who I think will start for Indiana right. Izzy with Temple. I think for her, she was going to go to another school, and now is going to her mom's alma mater with a new coach and she's bringing the program around quite a bit. So all these kids just have, Wachilla, Michelle Madison was after her very early on. So they've all been successful. And yesterday they're going to put on the map a little bit again, like the other kids did. I know that they haven't said it directly, but the one that is already on a U.S. team is Wachilla. The others have worked very hard to get where they are, and I don't know what their aspirations are with any U.S. stuff, but they're still in the system. I know that Maddie leaves the day after Christmas, and she's going to be going to Kincaid. She's down at Kincaid. We were talking about them last night, and they just won the state championship. Kincaid, and then another team that we played just won the Missouri championships. So, and then we're out of it. Then we played Louisville, who had won Sacred Heart, who had won their state championships a number of years. They got knocked out. And then we heard the other day that Eastern Regional had won, I think, 25 state championships in a row.
Wow.
They took a beating from a team. So, it's just kind of interesting to see where all the teams are right now that we played during the season. So in the Hill School playing for the private school championship. And they were by far, I think, the best team. We played them in Kincaid this season. I would like to say it was our local teams, but Kincaid and Hill were just amazing teams.
Nice. Awesome. So as we wrap up this podcast, we're going to do something what we call rapid questions. So we'd just like to see some of your answers. So first one.
Remember, I'm 74 years old, so I can't be too rapid. I might lose it.
That's all right. We'll regress.
We'll say
regress,
simple
right?
answer.
Yeah.
We'll say, yeah.
So, favorite NEPA pizza?
Old Forge, anywhere in Old Forge.
Old Forge, got it. Favorite musician and or group?
You're going to laugh at this one. The Temptations and Bobby Rydell.
I love it. I love
it.
That's the
we don't even
stuff.
know who they are.
They don't make music like that anymore, right? How about your favorite holiday?
By far, Christmas.
Christmas. I agree. If you were to write a book, what would be the title of your book?
What are your life goals and how are you going to attain them?
Love it. Love it. One skill you wish you had?
The ability to keep my mouth shut at times.
I hear that. And what's the best advice you ever received?
I think the best advice I ever received was from, believe it or not, a person that coached me early on when I was in high school and just said, be true to yourself, work hard, do not delineate between the weaker and the stronger all the time because it will come back to haunt you. Appreciate people what they have in the way of talent, because not everyone has God-given talent like the speed. And I look at the four gestures that we put out there. They have great talent, and they also all four have speed, which is something that I think you're born with. And I mean, you can develop techniques and that type of thing, but some of this, it's just watched the good athletes over the years.
Yeah. Last question.
The last question. All right. What motto or saying or quote do you live by?
Believe it or not, I don't live by too many, because I just like to take each day as it comes. And when individuals talk about quotes that they've always used, or I don't really totally buy into that stuff a lot. Although my players will say the opposite. Like if I see certain things on site and I say, "Oh, that's pretty good," I may give the kids or hand them out quotes and that type of thing. But I tend to take the longer quotes rather than the one word or that type of thing.
Nice.
Awesome.
So before we wrap up, Coach Klassner, is there anything that you want to link out, social media? What's your tags? What information can people get in contact with you if you want to leave that?
I think if you go on to social media, you'd get I don't even know what the heck. What are tags?
Your name. What's your name? How can people find you?
I don't think I want people to find me.
Right.
It goes back to that.
You.
Are you Karen Klassner?
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I? Because I believe it or not, I could probably tell some stories over the years. I tell a couple of people that have also accosted me in offices and things, about my teams. And that's why I'm frequently asking, is that a good thing or bad thing before I say, yes, I'm Karen Klassner.
That's right.
So
I like it.
Well, in retirement, I want you to enjoy your retirement. For the people, you can maybe catch her outside walking her dogs or eating some of that Old Forge pizza. But we appreciate your time. This was an awesome interview. Loved your answers, and we wish you much success in your future in that retirement world.
Yeah, Coach, thank you so much for being on today. Good luck.
Thank you. It was great.
Awesome.
Great experience.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care,
See you
Coach.
guys.
We'll see you.
See you, Coach.
Bye.